Hi and welcome to the Art of Tarot. My name is Stephanie and this is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for February 2021. Welcome to the ones who are new. Welcome back to the ones who already know me. I just want to say in the beginning how these readings work. I work with Western astrology, I work with the tarot cards, and occasionally I use other divination methods. I will bring the charms back exclusively for the English reading. I also do this reading in German. You can follow my German speaking channel. If you go to my description box, you find the link, and I will talk a little bit about the astrology and general energies in the beginning, and then I will go into more of a love focus, love interest, and we'll see how you can work yourself through the month, and I hope there is some help for you in the cards, and maybe you can gain some more knowledge throughout the reading. All right, so we have an interesting month, I think, in February with this whole Aquarius action going on. We have all these planets that moved into, or these important planets that moved into Aquarius in December, Saturn and Jupiter. They are now really testing our consciousness, expanding, testing, expanding, testing. It's very, very fascinating. Now, Mercury joins the club and Mercury is going retrograde. So it will again be looking back at old knowledge, old patterns, old circles, old cycles, old people maybe, to really understand more and more and more how we relate to each other as a community, as a society, and as humans in general. Aquarius is really humanity. And then also Venus is coming, is joining Aquarius. So all these planets are now hanging out with Venus as well. So it's also about love, about sensuality, about the beautiful things in life, and revisiting. I think it's a lot about revisiting with this Mercury retrograde. And then what is really fascinating, on the 11th we have a new moon in Aquarius. So we already, during this whole action in Aquarius, we are starting to create a clean slate for what we want to bring in emotionally and start a new cycle emotionally. There's also a square for all of us that might bring revelations, sudden revelations. The Uranus and Taurus is squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So again, sudden moments of truth might be a little tense, but at the same time, again, giving us more answers to how reality actually can work with all this new consciousness. So for you, the cards that came out is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Prince of Wands in reverse, which already says so much about the Mercury retrograde and you maybe having the feeling of not being able to implement the knowledge or expand or have forward movement right now. You might really feel a little stuck, or you might feel like you're walking through old cycles and you don't know why. Don't worry about it, because right now it's really, really important the first 2 months of February that you do that. And the fire energy that you cannot really bring out right now, and that makes you feel like you're like on the spot, you know, you're just like walking on the spot. Try to find something fiery that you can do when it comes to finding activities where you are with yourself, you know. I know it's difficult, but maybe you can really use this as a creative outlet and try to express intense feelings in a creative way. That would be important, and without a goal. Don't try to have a goal with it, I think, in the first 2 weeks of February. Definitely old cycles are strong here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, but this might be a blessing in disguise. Just make sure you're not reading too much into it just yet. With the second part of the month, I think there is a huge shift. You will feel it very strongly, I think, because all of a sudden you will have vision forward again with the Three of Wands here, and it will be very clear by the end of the month that you are able to manifest, that you are able to be in your grounding, that you're able to be in your also material strength, physical strength, that you can also lean back at the end of the day and know that you've achieved things, you are worthy of things, and you can also actually enjoy the things that you've worked for. With the King of Pentacles, you might feel like you want to enjoy things a little more, you know, the more like the sensual things. Especially with Venus also coming into Aquarius and then going into Pisces by the end of the month. So it can be a sensual end of the month, physically speaking as well. So there is a sense of physical well-being definitely in the end of the month, and you having also the vision forward, how to move forward, how you can already see things coming in, you can see the way clear up, and you also have an overall energy of the Magician where you feel like, yes, I can make things happen, yes, I can make things manifest. With a love situation, it's a little more difficult here. I feel like these cards, the general cards, don't necessarily directly translate to the love situation, because with the High Priestess in reverse in the first part of the month, you might have a hard time tuning into intuition because you feel stuck. You might also have having a hard time reading things, so you might have a tendency to read into things. I would be careful about that just because of the general energies in the High Priestess in reverse in the first part of the month. That you don't, you know, interpret in terms of your feelings and think that's your intuition. You might be off, to be honest. You might be off when it comes to your intuition. This other person, there is no communication. There is no communication. Comes through very strongly, or they're not saying what they want to say, they're not speaking their truth, they're holding back. That's all the Ace of Swords in reverse. And you don't have the insight. It's hard to read them. I feel like it's really, with the High Priestess in reverse and the Eight of Swords, it's really hard to read them intuitively. So what the cards suggest is stick to the facts, you know, stick to the facts. I feel very much like the facts are there is an unequal give and take with the Six of Pentacles. There is not equal, balanced investing into the connection. With the Queen of Swords, I think you have a very clear understanding of that issue. There might be a breadcrumbing situation going on. That's the Six of Pentacles. You might feel like, you might feel like this person, also what you give them, they're kind of rejecting, could also be with this card that comes through strongly. So they might not be able to take on what you give them. And therefore it might be best right now to not offer them too much and to not read too much into their behavior, because they're very stuck. It seems like they're very stuck in a mental place where they cannot really work themselves out right now. Also with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it seems kind of impossible throughout the month for them to free themselves from a certain way of thinking. Therefore, you know, there is not much you can do. There is a Magician energy overall, but I think this Magician energy to manifest something comes through by the end of the month, and it's also very much about getting yourself enough rest here with the Four of Swords, and really gaining the insight and again making sure that you see things for what they are and not for what they seem to be, you know. Stick with the facts. Stick with old memories and old knowledge as well. By the book for me is a card that talks about sticking with what you know, sticking with the memory that is that you're sure about. Also sticking to tradition in a sense, so do things in a way where you know you gain results, and where results are clear and secure. You don't have to reinvent the wheel right now. Do the things that you know bring you results in the situation. Don't try to experiment too much here right now. So let's look at the charms. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. I think with this Prince of Wands energy here, this is very general for you. Try to make things fun while you work on. Try to, if you feel stuck, try to make things fun. You know, try to, even though it's maybe just boring things you have to do, try to kind of incorporate the fun. Like if you're cleaning your house, put some good music on, stuff like that, you know. This charm for me is always like making work enjoyable, also physical work or work that is more like you know, things that we have to do. Then we have a lot of stones came out. Again, old knowledge, doing things in an old way with the Colosseum here. Stick to what you know, show what you know, only show what you know, and stay in your stability and in your grounding, therefore. It's very strong. You're both coming from a place of love, and I do get that. The thing is, it's a very weird message that's coming through. The rose quartz and this little gemstone, which I right now don't actually know what it is, to be honest with you. If you combine those two colors, you know, you get the jade here on this other side. It is basically a combination of those two colors. Just interesting. You do see things from your perspective and their perspective. You're coming from a place of love. They are also trying to, you know, bring this place of harmony and love into the situation, but they're more seeing it as a... They're not able right now to break it down, you know, break it down to the... They're very much... they're even addicted in a way to their pattern of thinking, which is kind of keeping them trapped in a situation. With this gem, which is for me like addictive tendency to something. This is attached to their ego, I think, and to their sexual energy, so they're kind of trapped in a weird cycle with that, to be honest with you. And there is, for you, it's important really to look at your own healing energy, especially when it comes to concrete results and concrete work and putting the discipline into something, to create a new vision for yourself here with this is also my Capricorn charm. And Capricorn for me is about really putting the work in, and this is also about very, very material healing in a very material sense, right down to the bones. It's both like a Capricorn indication here, so, and Saturn. So it's really important for you to look at your own results right now, and it's the most important thing here, which really comes through, is you're coming from a place of love. You're also looking at their point of view and their situation, but you still also, with this place of love, this is much bigger than compared to this stone, you know, it's much bigger than it's again with the Six of Pentacles. I'm sorry, it's just like not coming out the right way. It's important to put yourself first because you know you're coming from a place of love. That's what wanted to come out. So yes, this is your reading, Sagittarius. Very interesting. I hope this gave you some information that you can work with and some messages and some helpful insight. And I am asking you to please subscribe, like, comment, and help me to spread these videos. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.